Wholesaling real estate is an excellent strategy for anyone who's thinking about investing in the Arizona market. The concept is simple. Find deeply discounted properties, secure them under contract, and then assign that contract to another buyer, usually a real estate investor, at a higher price. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all the steps on how to wholesale real estate in Arizona, and we'll cover everything you need to know, like state-specific legal considerations, market insights, the most successful strategies that we use, and all the resources you'll need to get started today. And don't forget to grab our state-by-state guide on how to wholesale real estate, which you'll find the link in the description down below. So what is wholesaling real estate? Wholesaling real estate is a strategy where an investor secures the rights to purchase a property and then sells those rights to another buyer for a profit. And this is often called the assignment of contract strategy. Here's how it works. Imagine you find a property worth $350,000 and you negotiate a purchase agreement with the seller for $310,000. Instead of purchasing the property yourself, you secure the right to buy that property and then assign the contract rights to another buyer for a fee, let's say $10,000. So the new buyer pays the seller $310,000, the agreed contract price, and you walk away with a $10,000 assignment fee. The remaining margin is for the buyer you signed the contract to so that they can fix and flip the house for a profit. It's a win-win-win scenario. The seller gets the price they need, you earn your assignment fee, and the buyer secures a great investment opportunity with potential profit. And that's it. That's how wholesaling real estate works in Arizona. But don't just take my word for it. Let me introduce you to Mark, one of our students who recently completed his first wholesale deal in Phoenix, Arizona. Mark joined our Ultimate Investor program with zero experience in real estate. He had a full-time job, 2 young kids to care for, and no extra time to spare. But he made the decision to take control of his future. And within just 90 days of completing our program, Mark successfully wholesaled his first deal, which was a single-family home, and walked away with $4,000 in profit. What's incredible is that Mark was able to do this while balancing all of life's demands. He didn't need a fancy background in real estate or loads of free time. He simply followed the proven systems we teach in the Ultimate Investor program, and he got results. Mark's success isn't just a one-off, it's proof that our strategies work, and not just in Arizona, but in every state. And we've designed this program to help people from all walks of life achieve real, measurable success in real estate investing. And if Mark can do it, so can you. So let's dive into the next steps, and let me show you how to get your first wholesale deal. Step number 1 is picking your real estate market. A lot of people get started and want to just jump into virtual wholesaling in a market halfway across the country. While that's certainly possible, it's not what I recommend for beginners. I suggest starting in your local market. For example, if you're in Phoenix, just start there. Because being local gives you a significant advantage. You'll have firsthand knowledge of the neighborhoods. You'll have the ability to visit properties and the opportunity to meet with real estate agents whenever necessary. And understanding your local market lets you identify where the potential is, like the neighborhoods with the highest rental demand, or the regions that are experiencing growth, or areas that have new development projects. This knowledge can help you spot better deals and avoid properties that might be harder to sell. So choose your market wisely, and if possible, start right in the city you're in or the county you're in where you already live. Now, step 2 is finding 3 to 5 quality local cash buyers who you can wholesale deals to. Now, what do I mean by cash buyer? It's simple. Cash buyers are real estate investors, often fix and flippers, who purchase multiple deals per month and are always looking to work with reliable wholesalers. And we recommend starting by identifying these cash buyers early on. This allows you to understand the exact types of deals they're looking for and the specific areas that they prefer to buy properties in. For instance, some cash buyers may only want to invest in Scottsdale, while others might be more focused on cities like Tempe or Tucson. And by locating active cash buyers in your area, you can increase your chances of closing deals and maximize your wholesale fee potential. So how do you find these cash buyers in Arizona? One effective strategy we recommend is what we call the Google Ninja trick. Let's say you're based in Phoenix and want to find cash buyers in that area. Well, open Google and type in something like "Sell my house fast, Phoenix, Arizona." Now in the search results, you'll find real estate investors who've optimized their websites to rank for these types of keywords. These investors are likely cash buyers looking to connect with motivated sellers and wholesalers like you. And these investors, or better yet, these cash buyers, are always on the hunt for motivated sellers who want to close deals quickly. So we approach this search as if we're motivated sellers ourselves. And this approach makes it incredibly easy to locate actual cash buyers online. Now, the best part about this strategy is that it doesn't take hours, and you can often find cash buyers in Arizona in just a few minutes. Now, another effective strategy is to find cash buyers in Arizona by using Craigslist. So head over to Craigslist.org, select your city, let's say Phoenix again, and type in phrases like "sell my house fast for cash" or "buy my house." You'll find advertisements from cash buyers who are actively looking for motivated sellers. From there, take some time to browse these ads and gather contact information. So get the emails or phone numbers that you'll need in order to contact this cash buyer. And remember, these cash buyers are actively looking for opportunities, so they'll likely be very receptive to working with you and joining your network. These cash buyers are always on the lookout for discounted properties, which means they'll value the deals you bring to the table. So start building these relationships today so you can collaborate now and on future deals. And once you've connected with a few solid cash buyers, remember 3 to 5, you're ready to move on to the next step. Step number 3 is finding deals on the MLS. The MLS, or Multiple Listing Service, is a comprehensive database of available listings in your area, and it's an incredibly valuable tool for finding properties you can wholesale all throughout Arizona. And here are a few strategies to help you identify potential wholesale deals using the MLS. First up is what we like to call the Day Zero strategy. This strategy involves checking for new listings that have hit the market within the last 24 hours. So for example, let's say you see 50 new listings that were posted today. You'll narrow it down to focus on the distressed ones. So there might be 5 to 10 that meet this criteria, and then these are the ones you dive deeper into. And we love this approach because these opportunities are fresh on the market and often need to sell very quickly, which usually means they're better suited for all cash buyers, giving us wholesalers a distinct advantage. Now, by being one of the first to act on these listings, you significantly increase your chances of getting the property under contract before other investors even know about it. If you can be first in line, you might just secure an incredible wholesale deal. Now, over the years, we've locked in dozens and dozens of properties under contract using this strategy simply because we were the first to call and make an offer that resonated with both the agent and the seller. Now, another great MLS strategy is targeting old listings. These are properties that have been on the market for more than 90 days. After sitting unsold for so long, sellers are often more willing to negotiate, and it makes these opportunities great for wholesalers in Arizona. For example, you might find a distressed property on the MLS in Scottsdale that's listed at $700,000 but hasn't sold in 3 months. Over time, the seller may feel motivated to drop that price to $650,000 due to the personal or financial circumstances. With these types of properties, maybe there was a legal issue like a divorce or probate case that has since been resolved, and now the seller is ready to make a deal. And this strategy works well because it helps you identify motivated sellers who are more likely to accept the terms that you want. So be sure to look for these older listings, dig into the potential reasons that they've been sitting on the market, and figure out how you can be the problem solver, the person who offers them a solution. When you approach sellers with solutions, you will improve your chances of getting that wholesale deal under contract. Now, the third strategy is finding deals on the MLS using keyword searches. This involves using specific keywords that real estate agents include in property descriptions to signal that a property might be distressed. So try searching for terms like fixer-upper, cash only, investor special, or needs TLC. From here, the MLS search will show listings with these keywords, helping you quickly find wholesale deals that need repairs and are perfect for cash buyers or investors. Now, by combining this keyword search strategy with the other approaches we've discussed, you'll have an even greater chance of uncovering excellent opportunities for wholesaling. The MLS is a powerful tool, and when you use it effectively, it can unlock profitable deals throughout the Arizona real estate market. Step number 4, when wholesaling real estate in Arizona, is reaching out to the real estate agents who represent the properties you've identified on the MLS. So now it's time to contact the real estate agent handling the deal. And one of the biggest advantages of using the MLS is that it typically provides the agent's contact information, such as their phone number and email, making it very simple to reach out. Now, when speaking with the agent, your main goal is to confirm that this property is truly distressed and suitable for a real estate investor. So be sure to focus on properties that need repairs and updates and where the seller may be motivated to sell quickly due to their current situation. And keep in mind, the property description may not always clearly state if the seller is in a distressed situation. However, you can often uncover this information during a phone conversation with the real estate agent. And that's why it's crucial to call real estate agents and gather as much information as possible. Ask questions to help you better understand the seller's motivation and the property's condition. For example, what kind of renovations are needed? Are there any unique features that make this particular property stand out? What does the agent think that the property could sell for in its best possible condition? Now, we refer to this initial conversation with the agent as the discovery call because you're uncovering all the details that can influence the deal. Once you've gathered all the essential information, you're ready to move on to the next step, which is analyzing the deal. Now in step 5, it's time to run the numbers. This is where we determine if the property has real potential as a solid wholesale deal in Arizona. First, let's calculate the ARV, or after repair value. This is the estimated market value of the property once it's been fully repaired and upgraded. Next, we need to estimate the repair costs, a ballpark figure of what it will take to bring the property up to its best possible condition. And then we set our wholesale fee. Now, a great target that we always aim for a wholesale fee is $10,000, which we believe is fair compensation for the work you put into finding the deal, analyzing the deal, and then assigning that contract. We've had wholesale fees higher than that. We've had wholesale fees lower than that. But if you start at $10,000, you're typically going to be very happy with the results. Now, finally, we calculate the purchase price. This is the offer you'll make to the seller to get the property under contract. Now, a common formula to determine the maximum allowable offer, which is the highest price you can offer while maintaining a profitable margin for your cash buyer, is to multiply the ARV by 70% and then subtract the repairs and then subtract your wholesale fee. So for example, let's say the ARV of the property is $400,000. Start by multiplying that by 70%, which gives you $280,000. Next, subtract the repair cost. Let's estimate those at $25,000, and now you're down to $255,000. Finally, subtract your desired wholesale fee, $10,000 in this case, and that leaves you with $245,000 as your maximum allowable offer. So now if you can secure the property under contract at $245,000, you'll have a great chance of wholesaling it to a cash buyer and earning your $10,000 wholesale fee. Now this formula, it's a quick rule of thumb, but if you want to make your offers even more competitive, consider using 80% of the ARV instead of 70%. This allows you to offer a higher price, giving you an edge over other investors while still leaving room for solid profit. Now, for every wholesale and flip deal, we use our deal calculator. This allows us to get our numbers down to the T. And if you want to try out our calculator, just go to realestateskills.com/calculator, and then you can plug in numbers and analyze wholesale deals in Arizona. Now, once you've analyzed the deal, it's time for step 6, which is submitting offers and negotiating. Now, this step is crucial because you cannot get a deal under contract unless you submit a professional, well-prepared offer. For example, you don't want to propose a 60-day closing time frame. Long time frames like that usually won't appeal to motivated sellers or their agents from the get-go. So instead, you want to demonstrate that you know what you're doing and that working with you will be efficient and seamless. So use terms that the agents commonly see from serious investors. And a solid, clean offer might include minimal contingencies, like a 7-day inspection period or maybe a 3-day inspection period, and a 14-day closing time frame or sooner. This kind of offer shows that you're serious and capable of closing quickly. So why is this important? Well, for many sellers in distressed situations, speed can be everything. They need to move fast, so presenting a quick and straightforward closing process can make your offer much more appealing. Now keep in mind that most offers will require an earnest money deposit, also known as an EMD, and this is a good faith deposit that demonstrates you're serious about the deal. The EMD is typically due within 72 hours of getting the property under contract, and this can range anywhere from $500 to $10,000, depending on the Arizona neighborhood you're investing in. Often this deposit is refundable, but always double check your contract to confirm. And if you'd like access to our contracts for wholesaling real estate in Arizona, you can just download them at realestateskills.com/contracts. Now here's an important pro tip for wholesaling real estate in Arizona to help reduce your risk. Always, always, always include a 7-day inspection contingency in your contract. This is very important if you're just starting out. This will give you a full week to inspect the property and ensure it's a good fit for you and your buyers. It also provides you an opportunity to back out of the contract if the property doesn't meet your expectations and if that buyer cannot be found. Now, as a general guideline, aim for a 14-day close on your contract or sooner if possible. This timeline is pretty standard for real estate investors, for fix and flippers, and makes your offer more attractive to agents and sellers, especially when that seller needs to move quickly. However, keep in mind, if the seller requires a longer time to close, a longer timeline to get out of the property, like 28 days, then adjust your terms to accommodate their needs. Being flexible with your closing terms can make a big difference in helping your offer stand out. Lastly, always include a proof of funds letter with each and every offer that you send. This document demonstrates that you have the financial backing to purchase the property, which helps ensure your offer is taken seriously by agents and sellers. You can easily obtain a proof of funds from hard money lenders or private money lenders, but having this document is critical if you want to get your offers actually accepted. And if you want to download our guide on how to get a proof of funds, just visit realestateskills.com/proof, and I'll show you 2 simple ways to get your proof of funds instantly. Now let's move on to step 7, my favorite, which is closing the deal. This is the final stage of the transaction where ownership officially transfers from the seller to the buyer, and you assign your contract rights to the buyer. It's also when you'll receive your wholesale fee for completing the deal and assigning the contract. The closing process involves working closely with title and escrow companies to ensure that all paperwork is complete and that the funds are properly transferred. These specific companies play a critical role in verifying that everything is in place for a smooth transaction and handling the transfer of funds. Now, when you're starting out, you might not know the best title or escrow companies to work with, and that's completely fine. In this case, what you want to do is just ask for recommendations from the real estate agent that you're working with. Agents often have pre-existing connections with local, reliable escrow and title companies that you can use. From there, you can get a referral from them and then work with those escrow and title companies. As you complete more deals, you'll start to find a few title and escrow companies that you prefer to work with. Now you can continue working with these trusted connections that can help streamline the closing process and make your future transactions even smoother. And that's how we wholesale real estate in Arizona. So if this sounds too good to be true, I want you to know it's not. In fact, a lot of people ask us, is wholesaling real estate legal in Arizona? And the answer is yes. Wholesaling is completely legal in Arizona as long as you comply with the state laws and regulations. Now, the key distinction to understand when wholesaling real estate in Arizona is the difference between being a wholesaler and a real estate agent. As a wholesaler, you're not selling the property itself. You are selling the contract rights to purchase the property. And these contract rights are known as the equitable interest. This is what you're transferring from yourself to the end buyer. Additionally, in Arizona, you do not need a real estate license to wholesale either because you are selling the contract rights. You're not acting as a real estate agent who is selling a property. However, if you're going to represent another party in buying or selling a property, then you would need a real estate license. So be sure to keep this distinction in mind between being a wholesaler and real estate agent because this is where most people go wrong. Right? People think that they can sell a property, but really as a wholesaler, you are selling the contract rights. Now, when marketing the deal, make it crystal clear that you're selling a contract and not the property itself. Advertising the property without having ownership or a real estate license can be considered unauthorized brokerage activity under Arizona law. And this could result in penalties or fines from the Arizona Department of Real Estate. By making this distinction very clear and sticking to Arizona's laws, it will now ensure that you're operating legally and ethically while wholesaling in Arizona. Additionally, wholesaling is legal in Arizona if wholesalers comply with the new real estate legislation that went into effect on September 24th, 2022. This new law requires the following of wholesalers working in Arizona. If you're buying a residential property as a wholesaler, you need to disclose to the seller that you're acting in the transaction as a wholesale buyer. And two, when you're selling a residential property as a wholesaler, you need to disclose that you're only selling the equitable interest in the subject property. In addition, the wholesaler must disclose that they may not have the ability to convey title to the subject property. Now, if this law is violated, the seller has the option to cancel the real estate contract of sale at any time prior to closing without any penalty whatsoever, and the seller may keep the earnest money deposit paid at the execution of contract by the wholesaler. And if this law is violated for the buyer, they have the option to cancel the real estate contract at any time before closing without incurring a penalty for doing so. And they can get a refund of all earnest money deposit paid when signing the real estate contract. But with just a simple disclosure statement on your initial offer of both of these things, it will make wholesaling completely legal in Arizona for you. And now that you know it's perfectly legal to wholesale real estate in Arizona, let's cover 3 tips that will help increase your chances of success when wholesaling in Arizona. Tip number 1 is to use the MLS to find distressed properties and sellers that are in distressed situations. So your goal is to identify properties that have deferred maintenance, so the ones that are outdated and need a lot of repairs and upgrades. So think about homes that are stuck in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and that haven't been updated for decades. These types of properties are especially attractive to investors because a lot of the times we can get them under contract below market value, which will then make great wholesale deals and great fix and flip deals for our cash buyers. Examples of major repairs could be fire damaged properties, cracked foundations, holes in the roof, mold issues. So properties like this, they're typically all cash purchases because they often can't qualify for traditional financing. And why is this? This is because banks usually want to approve a mortgage for properties that require extensive repairs. So this creates a great opportunity for us wholesalers and cash investors ready to take on renovation projects. Now, these homes may not appeal to the average home buyer relying on financing, but for cash buyers looking for investment opportunities, they're ideal. And on the seller side, distress situations can range from personal issues like a divorce or job relocation or dealing with an inherited property to financial pressures such as pre-foreclosures, short sales, or bank-owned properties. Each of these situations can create an opportunity for a wholesale deal where you step in to help the seller while you're securing a profitable deal for yourself. Now, one of the biggest mistakes new wholesalers make is targeting distressed properties that aren't even distressed. And what happens is these new wholesalers end up competing with first-time home buyers that want to buy a move-in ready home. And attempting to wholesale properties like these rarely works because what you're doing is you're competing with first-time home buyers that are buying a move-in ready home, which means they're going to be emotionally attached to the property, which means they're going to overbid on the property, and you're competing against people that are not using cash, they're using mortgages. So you don't want to go after properties that are move-in ready. You're going to be wasting a lot of time, and that's what a lot of newbie wholesalers do. Now, tip number 2 is to focus on properties with an active status on the MLS. Now, on the MLS, properties have various statuses like active, contingent, pending, sold, expired, withdrawn, or canceled. And as a wholesaler, your focus should be to solely focus on active listings because these are properties that are currently for sale, and this gives you the best chance of getting them under contract. So a lot of newbie wholesalers will waste time and try to go after properties that are already under contract, such as contingent or pending properties. And it's very hard to get a property under contract that's already under contract. It can happen, but when you pursue an active listing that's not under contract yet, you're going to maximize your chances of finding wholesale deals that are available right now, today at the second, and ready to be put under contract. Now, tip number 3 is to track written offers sent as your most important metric. So what exactly counts as an offer sent when you're serious about wholesaling real estate in Arizona? Once again, this is where newbie wholesalers go wrong. So newbie wholesalers assume that sending a quick text message or leaving a voicemail or even having just one verbal conversation with an agent qualifies as an offer. But that's not how we've defined it over the last 12 years of doing this. A real offer to us is when the listing agent sends us a written contract, usually by email, we sign it, and we send it back. That's what I mean by a written offer sent. So tracking these written offers sent is critical to your success. If you ignore this metric, you're going to be stuck at the amateur level forever, and you're going to struggle to get deals under contract. Because when you actually send written offers and you track written offers, what this means is the real estate agent now has a contract in their email inbox. And at this point, all the seller needs to do to get this property under contract is sign the dotted line. At that point, the property is now under contract, it is binding, and you can then assign the contract rights. So we like to say an offer isn't real unless it's in writing. So I don't care about verbal offers, I don't care about text messages, I want to send actual written offers, the contract itself. That's what we track. That's the most important KPI, key performance indicator. And here's a quick challenge for you. If you're serious about wholesaling real estate in Arizona, then I challenge you to submit at least one written offer a day. In a month, that'd be 30 offers. And that should get you about 1 to 2 deals. But you need to stick to it and you need to be consistent. And there you have it. That's how we wholesale real estate in Arizona. Now, if you're interested in learning not only how to wholesale properties, but also fix and flip, and then roll those profits into buying rentals to build long-term wealth, be sure to check out my weekly webinar at realestateskills.com/webinar. During this session together, I'll dive in how to find the best deals in any market, including Arizona, the proven strategies to invest with little to no money down, and how to generate both an active and passive income through real estate. So I look forward to seeing you there, and that link is in the description as well. Now, if you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you know anyone interested in wholesaling real estate in Arizona, do them a favor and share this video with them. Lastly, don't forget to visit realestateskills.com. We have awesome real estate investing programs to help you get started, whether it's wholesaling, fixing and flipping, or buying rental properties to build wealth. Wishing you nothing but the best on your real estate journey. I'll see you in the next video.